DIYers, hey, what's going on? Mike Boards with the Mike Boards channel. Thank you for watching. We are talking boats today, and in today's video, we are going to be replacing the electric trim switch that is installed in the throttle housing or shift housing. Let's get started. I made my way to my parents and on board the boat to the captain's seat to the right of the steering wheel, where our Quicksilver OEM from 1998 shift lever and electric trim switch is, as you see right there. And even with the ignition on, trimming up, down, up, down, nothing. However, if we hop outside of the boat to the outboard, there is a trim switch on there, and that still works. Stepping out of the boat, my parents have a 40 horsepower Mariner 3-cylinder outboard, and coming down here, we have an electrical trim switch right here, which is awesome. And we'll trim the engine up. And that trim works fine. However, time to replace the trim on the shift lever. Back inside the boat, and what I did next for safety purposes, cut all electrical power to the system by disconnecting and removing the black negative cable from your battery. Camera now position looking directly at the shift lever and again the electric trim switch. And in addition, from 1998 back in the day, they inserted a little rubber seal, and unfortunately on the bottom or left side it has given way and ripped, and it is now interfering with the operation of the switch and basically getting stuck in the down position. And it's very possible that that got stuck at some point and overheated the electrical wiring inside and fried the switch. But no big deal, we've got a brand new one. We need to remove this outer cover, and to do so I have the absolute finest flathead screwdriver I have, and I'm coming up inside here basically where the gap is right there, as you see. However, just travel all the way around. There is a point at which it is a larger gap, and from here just separate it. And if this is the first time you ever remove yours, which it is for us, there is some adhesive on the back side. However, just carefully remove it. And as you see, there's the back side of the switch, and here's the switch, and coming out, and we've got some electrical wiring. It's a good time to take photos and take a good view of the back side and how the connections are positioned. And on the left side, where the blue and white wire connect to, it is straight. Then you've got the center red wire, and the far right connection point way down here is at an angle, and that is the green and white wire. So again, just be careful as you do this. Let me give you a better view. See that? Straight, and then the right one is at an angle. And all I'm going to do is one by one disconnect the wiring. As you see right there, and there's a better view of it. Again, the little connection that's at an angle is going to be on the right side or up trim. In front of us now on the left-hand side is the old switch up top, as you see right there. And looking at the cap or cover with the gray adhesive in there, it definitely looks like this was modified or worked on in recent years. However, here is the OEM Quicksilver brand new electric trim switch. Down below in the comments and description will be a link on where to purchase this switch, as well as a few aftermarket options. Next, before we install the brand new switch inside the little cover, I want to show you what I've got. And again, looking at the old switch, and you've got one in the center, two on the left, which is the trim down, and the 3 on the far right or top, that's trim up. And I'm going to set that aside and grab the little cover here. And all I did was grab some scissors and snip away this little piece that was basically peeling away. And again, that little rubber insert and seal, I'm sure you can get it from a marina. However, it may be a special order because it's so old. However, coming inside, and in our case, that rip portion of the rubber seal was on the bottom or left or trim down, and we are going to insert the switch accordingly. And again, the trim up number 3 will be on the top. And just ever so carefully insert this inside the rubber boot, as you see here, and just kind of wiggle it in place. And a quick test again, looking at the back, number 3, trim up, and if we basically turn it this way, there it is. Again, there's that little spot that needs attention. However, we clipped away that little insert there and trim down. Back on the boat into the shift lever and just ensuring that I've got the trim switch properly inserted, which I do. However, coming in for the electrical connections, I'll start with the blue, and you want them on there firmly. Do not damage them. Followed by the center red. Until it clicks, and last but not least, the green and white at the slant. And ensure everything is properly secured. I'm going to reseat the switch in the rubber seal, as you see right there. From here, just guide the wiring back in ever so carefully. Do not damage it or harm it. And we are going to re-secure the cover or cap around the shift lever or handle. And testing the switch. So far so good. Let's reconnect the black negative cable to the battery, restore electrical power. In DORs, we did exactly that. The black negative cable is re-secured to the battery and electrical power is restored. Now time to test the brand new switch. Oh, it's working. Trim up, trim down, trim up, trim down, trim up. Back on board and to our shift lever and trim mechanism or switch, as you see here. Again, that is a success. We hope this helps. In addition, down below in the comments and description will be additional helpful DIY repair videos on this boat, including replacing a horn. That one is brand new. The old one was basically dead and begging for replacement.